I'm presenting the functionalist views on social stratification. You will find that this is like Mr. Mchabara is alluded to. It's actually a simple topic that when you give an examination, you should actually just go through it simply. So I'll try to make it simple. This is what I'm going to, this is the outline of the discussion that I'm going to lead here. We're going to define social stratification, and then we are going to explain why they is.
Sorry, Mr. Tambwanaye, what are you supposed to do with that information? The functionalist views on social stratification, that's all you have.
Yes.
There's no task term there. Are you examining as
analyze?
Right.
So I'm going to analyze the functionalist views on social stratification. So I'm going to define social stratification, and then I'll explain why there is inequality in the society. Actually touch on the functionalist views on stratification, and then I also critique the functionalist views on stratification. Understanding social stratification, we would like to try to understand social stratification. Social stratification is a condition in which members in a society have different amounts of wealth, prestige, and power. So, scholarly, we are going to look at Zimbabwe. There's definition on social stratification. Aralabos involved in 2018 on page 21. They define social stratification as it refers to the presence of distinct social groups. So this is important to note. Distinct social groups within the society, which are ranked. There is an issue of ranking, which are ranked one above the other in terms of which are ranked one above the other. So the system of ranking is in terms of wealth, prestige, and power. So if we look at this definition, I think we can actually see some stakes. There are some stakes of classes in society. They are simply trying to say that there is a group that is at the lower rank, there is a group at a rank above the lower rank, there is a group, and there is also a group at the top of the issue. They actually don't mention the issue of the pyramid one. And then we have also scholars such as Blackmore and Cooksey. This is Cooksey 1981, as cited in Zimbabwe, Apanyembeche Muru, Nendowe, and Chikoto 2014. So cited in Zindi, I would just say Zindi et al. 2014, page 282. Blackmore and Cooksey define social stratification as the unequal distribution of wealth, prestige, and power in society. So you can see that we're simply coming back to the definition that I gave earlier on, where I said it is the condition in which members of society have different amounts of wealth and prestige and power. So we'll actually want to understand the stratification. The definition by Cooksey. Yes, they say it is the unequal distribution of wealth, prestige, and power in society. It might be important for us just to understand what is stratification before I actually look at the views of the functionalist. Stratification Stratification simply refers to the structure, the ranking of entire groups of people that perpetuates unequal economic rewards in power in society. Is the structure, so there is a structure here, which will actually lead us to the discussion that we have of the functionalist on social stratification. So stratification is structured ranking of entire groups of people that perpetuates the economic rewards of the people. And then maybe also, as you can see, that our definitions are marred by things like income, wealth, prestige. We just say income, we are simply talking about the salaries and wages. Wealth, we are talking of what encompasses all of a person's total assets. So in short, we are simply saying social stratification is the division of society into levels and positions. We don't have much there. And it might be important to understand that there are stratification systems such as the estate, the caste, and the class. The estate, this is where the elite owns property and has control over resources, with the caste where rich classes is maintained in the society. One is not allowed to move from one class to the other. And then we are not even supposed to intermarry. And then we have the class where status is partially achieved. There is some potential for movement between classes. It's either you can go up or you can go down.
Okay, I just want to remind people one thing. They've learned too much on social stratification. Do you see that? In normal circumstances, you are working for 5 marks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me now hasten to get to the functionalist.
Yes.
Yeah, functionalist perspectives. Actually, functionalism is a theory that was developed over the years, which is some gurus in functionalism, which include Agamste, Comte, Weber, Spencer, Emile Dake, Taupo Parsons. These are the people that we actually look at in the discussion. The functionalist view on stratification, on the question, is really stratification universal? They say yes. A differential system of rewards and punishments is necessary for the efficient operation of society. That's what the functionalists believe. They say that a differential system of rewards and punishments is necessary for the operation of society. That's important to note in terms of analyzing the functionalist view on social stratification. A functionalist view that stratification is functional for the following reasons. They believe that society must make certain that its positions are filled. Remember, functionalists believe that the society is a group of interdependent organs. They actually look at it as functional if and only if all those organs are working in harmony. So they are simply saying that stratification is important in the sense that those positions, you cannot do without some positions. So they are saying those positions have to be filled. So the filling of those positions, actually in terms of societal prestige and whatever, that can actually create impact. It is important because they are supposed to be filled. Some positions are more important than others. That's important to note again in terms of the functionalist views on social stratification. The more important positions must be filled by more qualified people. The more important positions must be filled by qualified people. And then to motivate the more qualified people to fill these positions, society must offer them greater rewards. Society must offer them greater rewards. So these are some of the underlying assumptions where the functionalists believe that social stratification is important. Talcott Parsons, as cited in Harlem Zimbabwe 2013 on page 22, says that order, stability, and cooperation in society are based on value consensus. He says that order, stability, and cooperation are based on value consensus, which is the general agreement by members of the society concerning what is good and worthwhile. He further goes on to say that those who perform successfully in terms of society's values will be ranked highly and they will be likely to receive a variety of rewards. Those who perform successfully in terms of society's values will be ranked highly and they will likely to perform a variety of rewards. So we are saying that at minimum they will be accorded high prestige if you perform, because they exemplify and personify the common values of the society. For example, if a society places a high value on bravery and generosity, as was the case with the Zulus in under Chaga the Great, you will find that those warriors who went to war and actually won battles, many battles, when they came back, they were actually rewarded with prestige and they were given a higher position in the society. So those who excelled in terms of these qualities would receive a high rank in the stratification system. And then one other group of scholars that were under the functionalist school of thought were Davis and Moore, as they were cited in Kirby et al. 1997. They maintain that social stratification is functionally important to keep social order. They maintain that social stratification is functionally important. Their thesis makes the following assumptions. The thesis of Davis and Moore on social stratification, they maintain these functions. They say that all roles in society must be filled. That's the first assumption. They have basically four assumptions. All roles must be filled. They must be filled by those best able to perform them. They must be filled by those best able to perform them. And then they must be, those positions of special order, they must be trained for. And then 4, and they must be performed conscientiously. Let me just put them this way. Conscientiously. And these assumptions were given by Haralambos and Hill in 1995. But however, Davis and Moore Davis and Moore thesis on the functionalist views on social stratification and a critic by the name Toomey, a man named Toomey. So this was Toomey's critique on Davis and Moore's view on social stratification. He said that he asked that how functional importance can be measured. How functional importance can be measured. Let's say we are giving a role or a position some importance. The doctor is more important than the garbage collector, for example. But 2 minutes was just actually criticizing and saying, how can you say the doctor is important to the garbage collector? Because you still need someone to collect the garbage. That's according to the functionalism, isn't it? So we are saying, let us not have classes, because all these positions, they are equal. The doctor is as equal as the garbage collector. I don't know if we are getting the critic here. This is because James and Moore maintained that some positions are more important than others, saying that those who were better skilled were supposed to get higher reward in the social stratification order. So Toomey was criticizing and saying, if you are saying that the society functions well with all arms, with all organs working, so why should we say some organs are more important than others? Yes?
Yeah, I think I want to check it because we can have a doctor in the garbage collector. The doctor can be the garbage collector, but the garbage collector cannot be the doctor.
Okay, that's now criticism on devs and more. Alright. He argues that the talents and ability cannot be objectively measured. That's his other critic. He argued that talents and ability cannot be objectively measured. It is subjective. The issue of talents and ability. Some of the things that you can do and some of the things that I can't do, they are actually subjective. They are not objective. So we should not actually place importance between people. It's just the same as even if we look into terms of height. But on certain, like, on that window thing. I'm less important, isn't it? And then just because you maybe, because of your height, you can reach there. Why should you be given status better than me just because we are saying the issue of talent and ability is subjective? It's not objective. Huh? Right. That's the critique by Tumi. So, we also have a critique by the conflict theory. They argue that the results when those with the most resources, they exploit the others. They are simply trying to put on the issue of saying that usually in society, those with the most resources, they exploit those without. So by so doing, the issue of classes is maintained, and then you are now having the issue of you being higher than me, just because me, I don't have those resources. Maybe I was just born without. They also argue that the most valuable jobs in society are usually the least rewarded, according to the conflicts. The most vital jobs in society are usually the least rewarded. But now with the functionalists, they simply say that there is higher value and then you have to get more. Let's say, for example, if we look at a site where there is construction, isn't it? I just come in, I have my managerial skills. I get in and then sit at a corner, I have an office. I'm simply like tapping issues like what came in terms of building material, what went out in terms of bricks and what. And then there is that person who is actually laying out the whole structure. If you look at it well, in terms of income, you are going to see that the guy who is actually in the office is paid more than that guy. But who is important in the site? We are simply saying the fielder is the one who is building up the structures, but this guy has no skill to do what this builder is doing. But we are simply saying we are seeing this builder getting less than the one who is seated in the office. This was a critique to the functionalist view that those who work hardest and succeed have greater life chances. So in conclusion, we can just conclude that we have seen that functionalist theory on stratification, they're saying that stratification assures that the most qualified people fill in the most important jobs. They are also saying that the inequality in existence because certain jobs are more important than others. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was my presentation.
Okay. Yes, they did well. Let's also not record me. You can record him, not me. Okay. They did very well. But like I indicated, this is a very, very easy, topic. Simply look at type of person's views. Yeah? Whereas look at social stratification and common values. What values are used to evaluate people and rank them accordingly? This is what you should do. Type of persons on social stratification and common values. Then go on to look at James Moore on role allocation and performance. There was a bit of repetition Dead scars, dead